Hey guys, Bo again, back. Turo journey. So this video that I'm making right now, I'm just making it quickly before I head back into work. I was on my lunch break, so I had to drop something off for our car, actually. So put this was covering. Put it back later. So I picked up the car on Friday, as you guys have seen in my last video. I was pretty quick about how I was doing everything. I couldn't wait for a shipping company to drop the car down here because I really wanted to get details on how the car looked, what condition it was in, what I needed to do before putting it on the platform. So what I had done was as you guys saw in the last video, I went up to Orlando, picked up the car, and brought it down here. And immediately as I brought it down here, I went straight to a body shop that I know. Personally, I've had my car, fixed up there two times actually. The first time was because somebody ended up hitting the front of my car, which was just they hit the fender and they kind of messed up the fender. So I had them fix it at first, and then something happened early last year. So I had that situated on my BMW. And as I drove down here, I just dropped the car off to the guy, and we looked over the car and looked over every little spot, every little nick that we need to take care of because I want this car to be perfect for the platform. I really want to get into this um, get into this area, of Turo and be ready. I don't want to have any issues. I don't want a customer to say or a client to say that, wow, this car is not what I thought. This car is not what I expected, because a lot of people do catfish on Turo. Um, and if you don't understand what catfishing means, it's basically like, you know, you're showing something that, say, I'm looking at a female, for instance, and wow, I see a nice picture, and I say, wow, that's a beautiful person, and then I go and see her, and it's not as beautiful as I thought because it was probably photoshopped. So clickbaiting or getting catfished on a car is not something that I want to do. I want for somebody to see the picture of the vehicle, and when they come to me, that's the same thing that they get. They see it on picture, and I want for it to be even better when they come. All right, so um, I'm making sure all those things are done. The bumper, I didn't really like how the bumper was looking. I was looking at brackets on it. I was looking at all the little pieces, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna replace the whole bumper. So I found a guy in Miami, um, in Hialeah actually, who had one for a year. Like he bought it. He owns a body shop down there. He bought it to put on the car, but it was for the wrong car. So it's been sitting in his body shop for the past 12 months. So I was able to snag that off of him. Luckily, I was able to get it off of him for like $100. I wish it was painted gray. If it was painted gray, I would have been my bad, or silver. I would have been happy. I would have been ecstatic. But so I just took that bumper over there right now, and then I bought two brackets because I just wanted to make sure that everything fits in and tucks in perfectly. And then I bought little, like stuff that you wouldn't even really think of, like the engine splash cover, just to make, I don't want any issues. So yeah, and that's it. I've got you guys caught up. So the next video I do make should be me receiving the car back, getting insurance and getting a tag and everything, getting it registered to my name. All that stuff should be in the next video. And also, what I wanted to talk about, which is what I'm going to title this video, is why I chose to buy a car off of auction instead of just, a lot of people on Turo, they lease. Well, let me not say lease. They finance cars because Turo has some rules about leasing. They say that if your leasing company does not approve of you putting your car on a ride sharing company like Turo, they will not cover you for anything. So if you get into an accident or something like that, you may potentially not be covered. So really watch and pay attention to your leasing company. about how you're gonna go with Turo if you're gonna ever lease a vehicle. But most people do finance their vehicles. And I follow somebody on YouTube, Samaya, who said the other day that she doesn't believe that buying a vehicle off of auction is the best choice. And I agree with her on some points. It really depends on what kind of car. That's what I think. It really depends on what type of car you're buying to put on that platform. So if you're thinking about buying a car that is high maintenance, cash off of um off of an auction, you better have that understanding, a body shop understanding, or if you have connections, you need to know how to service your car because financing a vehicle as opposed to buying a vehicle cash, financing you can get warranty on the vehicle, so you can get a 50,000 to 100,000 mile warranty on the vehicle. So anything that happens, the vehicle's all like automatically covered. But the reason that it's a good buy for me, I feel, is because I am buying a low maintenance car. I'm buying a vehicle that it doesn't necessarily cost me a lot of money. It didn't cost me a lot of money to buy, and it's a vehicle that I feel is very reliable in any condition that you put it in. Toyotas are known for their reliability, so why not? Feel me? Uh, I purchased the car for $4,000. $4,000 for a 2013 Toyota Yaris. That's unbelievable, right? Um, and I'm pretty sure. I'm just saying I'm gonna make that money back within the next few months. I am going to make that money back within the next few months. So um, that's the main reason that I bought at auction, and I continue to buy at auction. Or if I can find somebody actually who's selling a vehicle, if I can find somebody who's selling a vehicle that's around the same year or a bit newer for a low price, hey, I may be interested. So, hold up, where did that car just come from? Hold up, is that a spot that just opened up? Oh, let's see. Oh, I got a nice spot at the job. Look at that. Damn. So yes, I'm gonna make that money back, and the car's gonna continue to make money for me until I do purchase another vehicle, and I do continue to purchase vehicles off of auction, like I said, because if I purchase vehicles like this, vehicles that are economically friendly, low maintenance, all I have to do is change my tires, my brakes, um, my oil, just routine stuff that you would normally do for your vehicle. If I stay on top of that, I believe that the car can make me over three times the amount of money that I purchased it for. And then once I'm done with that vehicle, once I feel as if that vehicle has fulfilled what it needed to fulfill in my life, I'll sell that vehicle and purchase a new one. It's like a more recent one. So yeah, that's it, guys. So that's my take on buying a car from auction and why I made the decision to buy the car from auction rather than buying a car or financing a vehicle. I do think at some point I will finance a vehicle for this business, but just not now, you know? And the vehicle that I may end up financing, if everything is going right, is going to be a Tesla. I love Teslas. It's a car of the future, economically friendly. A lot of people love them. Everybody loves a Tesla. Who wouldn't want to drive a Tesla? I personally, yeah, like I would want to own a Tesla. Yeah, I would want to own a Tesla. Thinking about it. So that would be one of the vehicles that I would purchase uh, through financing because one, it's gonna make its money. Two, I'm gonna have competitive prices. Bet you that. So I'll be able to finesse in a way with um with everybody who's around me. And then three, I feel as if I'm in a perfect area for in this market. I'm in the best area for this market because I live in the city called Hollywood, Florida, um, which is basically right. I'm like 10 to 15 minutes away from the Fort Lauderdale airport. So anybody who does come down here from other countries or other states who needs to rent a car, my car I feel as if is in the right place. You feel me? It's in the right place for people to just see it, and it's close to, it's very close, so it's easy to get access to. And depending on how I put my post up, depending on what I can offer to the people, I can even drive it to them for free if I feel as if I'm close enough to them, because my job too is fairly close to the airport. If I could just pick somebody up from the airport and drive back to my house or drive back to the job, that'd be cool. Free of charge. That person will rent from me over and over again if they keep coming back. And another thing for me is spring break is around the corner. A lot of vacations happen in Florida. A lot of parties happen in Florida. A lot of attractions are in Florida, especially South Florida. So who wouldn't want to rent a cheap car just to drive around Florida while they do, whatever they got to do? So that's my take on it, my reasoning, and I updated you guys. So hope to see you guys next video with me actually picking up the car from the body shop, checking over everything, and then I will be registering it and then adding insurance on it, my personal insurance on it, so I can be able to drive it when I need to, bring it from one place to another place. And then afterwards, I'm gonna have another video set on how I listed my vehicle, what I put on my listing, and what I'm gonna rent it at, and then I'll just put the link to my actual vehicle. So if any of you guys ever need a vehicle to rent down here in South Florida, and you're down here, and you just look at my link and rent it if it's available. So it was nice speaking to you guys. I know this video was 12 minutes long. I didn't even expect to make it that long. I expected it to be like 5 minutes, but the more information that I can give you guys, the more insight that you guys have, so the better you understand, and you could possibly do this too. So